that is that South Africa has become a communist country that doesn't give a flying flip about its people and that just wants more land and more power and would put pedals into position faster than they would give a young black woman a job.
Well, the point we're making here is very evident in the chat. There are a lot of people that are borderline pushing with some snarky comments, insulting you, and they're
Wow.
just they're trolls. So we've taken care of one or two there, but they're borderline. There's nothing that's openly overt, but they're just being snarky, and that's just people. I'm sorry not to offend you as a young man of faith, but they have penis envy. Apparently, they were shortchanged in part of their anatomy. So I guess that's. I guess that happens with folks all the time. So anyway,
tell me about it. Yeah. I get a lot of hate email too, Colonel.
I'm sure, no doubt about that. But yeah, it's just a nature thing. So the thing is that the ANC has gotten away with its behavior for so long on the global stage that they really disconnected from reality. I mean, I've talked earlier to David Ansar from the Free Market Foundation. I was talking about how the ANC just, they're not reading the room. They think that their propaganda works. And 4 days in a row, Sama, they insulted the United States, and they missed the point of Donald Trump's his executive order, which explicitly explains why he came up with the executive order. And in there, he says the lack of equal opportunity, but then he talks about how the position against Israel and Hamas and the International Court of Justice. But then they completely missed the part at the bottom, which is the most poignant of all the stuff that Trump said. It's about relations that South Africa has with Iran, commercial, military, and nuclear. The ANC, are they that stupid? I don't answer that question. I know they're that stupid, but they really don't know how to read the room. And this, to me, is the same thing politically in South Africa. While South African politicians may be very astute and clever within South Africa's domestic context, like Malema was to get his party off the ground and get it up to about 12%, and I would never get off 15, I said, and that turned to be the case. But that's astute domestically because he knew what constituents to go after. He knew where to get the money, who would give him money, and who would support him. And he achieved that. But all of the parties in South Africa seem to be completely dumb, retarded, and ignorant when it comes to the international context. They think that they can say and do whatever they want and insult people. I mean, look, we're literally reaching into our wallet, Samla, and pulling out $500 million per year. Oh, here you go, South Africa. Take care of your antiretrovirals. Take care of your anti-poaching. Take care of your trade issues. We're going to give you money. And now we're saying, oh, well, you know what? We don't have any money. We owe $2 trillion in last year's deficit. We have to reduce our budget. We're going to suspend foreign aid because we have to pay our own bills. Oh, you're racist. You're intruding in our internal affairs. What are you talking about here, man? Are you smoking daga? What's going on? Is there a little tick in your diet? Come on, man. Anyway, I got a couple super chats. Let me address them very quickly here. One from Brett. He said, "Has the ANC since 1994 kept any promises?" They did, Brett. They promised to build 1 million homes. They said within 5 years. It took more like 9 years, but they did build 1 million RDP houses. They've kept a few promises. But remember, the ANC from 1994 until 2006 or thereabouts, 2007, is a different party than we see today. So Brett also gave $5. It seems like from 94 onwards, all South Africans, especially black South Africans, were promised the moon and tons of free stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, governments do that all the time, though, Brett. I mean, Democrats promise free stuff in America, so it's not out of the norm. But yeah, it is definitely the case in South Africa. I mean, I don't know. Did you watch the State of the Nation address the other day? Did you catch that, Summer?
Oh, I did. And not only did I watch the State of the Nation address, I made a video actively criticizing each and everything Cyril did not do in their State of the Nation address. I uploaded the video just a few hours before it went live and the entire nation could see it. And I called out many of the implications that were seen from the very beginning of Cyril's antics. I mentioned that the State of the Nation address is not the State of the Nation address anymore, number one. It's just a red carpet for politicians to come around. Cyril Ramaphosa makes his Hulk Hogan entrance with the only thing left being him to rip his shirt open and saying, "Let's make South Africa great again." Instead, he says the exact same thing he's been saying for the past 6 years. And then we have to sit there like video game NPCs, Colonel, and clap like highly trained SEALs to everything he says that this might be true. Exactly. That's what we're told to do. That's what we're told to do, because if we don't, you have no idea what's going to happen if you don't. We might just not give you a job opportunity. Yeah, sure, ANC. as if we already don't have that. Maybe that's why I started my YouTube channel, because I knew you wouldn't hire me. But nonetheless, one of the other things I mentioned out in what they like to call the SONA 2025, which is the State of the Nation address, is that Cyril has this tendency of structuring his speeches in the same way. Am I saying is there something wrong with structuring your speeches in the same way every year? That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is there's something wrong in structuring a speech you know you'll do, knowing that you won't fulfill any of the promises. Julius Malema actually said something I highly agree with, which is very rare. It's very rare someone Sambed agrees with Julius Malema. But what he said was last year, Cyril promised to build 1 million homes in the poor town of Alexandria in South Africa currently. 1 million homes. You want to guess what the ANC said when they couldn't live up to that expectation? Oh, well, there's no space in Alexandria. So, yeah, that's why we stopped building. Yeah, sure. No crap, Sherlock. As if you didn't know that the moment you promised that to the people. They said the same thing with the RDP houses. I do agree with you when they say they built 1 million RDP houses, but it is a proven fact that they said they would build more, and all they've done was just destroy the country's old, generally respected infrastructure and made it crack houses for today's drug addicts, which is unfortunately our youth. They have done anything but fulfill any of the promises they have given us. And if anything, it has made us look more and more stupid by the years. Tell me this: how can a country for 7 years straight listen to the same old nonsense by the same liar and still vote for him every 4 years? It's confusing, it's baffling. I honestly thought last year ANC would lose the elections. And what they've done was very smart, Colonel. Because guess what? They almost did. But to save their asses one more time, they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to form the government of national unity, where all the other parties that would have won or should have won will join the room with us, and we'll just become this one giant government, and every decision we're going to make, we'll discuss it with them. Let's pretend they actually followed what they said last year, because if anything, they are not discussing anything. And my evidence is that most of the decisions the ANC has made this past year, the DA and the EFF and the MK, the three parties that are supposed to be with them in every decision they make, has been opposing them. What kind of person you've been in a meeting with talking about all the stuff to is going to oppose it when you say
This is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. And be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. And look at my last several videos I've done on. Oh, it's Ginger. Last several videos I've done on South Africa. I actually thought when they were going to. I actually did a video saying they were going to lose the election unless they brought in other parties. My hope, and I actually don't think I did too many videos after that about the South African government, because I needed time to look to see if they were actually going to allow those parties that they brought into the DNC party to keep control. I was going to see if they actually gave them any power, and they actually haven't. They just brought them in to get the votes and then kicked them off to the sideline, which is what that gentleman just said. And it takes a while for governments to work, and that's why I haven't done any reports on that, because it takes a while for people to get put in. Like, it's very rare that you get a Trump that can get things done on day one. Typical, it takes 4 to 6 months before you start seeing change. Now I know what the DNC government in South Africa has done is they took those parties that they coalesced with to keep power, and they shoved them off to the side and are continuing doing what they're doing, as this gentleman just told you. So having now figured out what they're doing inside their government after bringing in those other parties to keep power, I'm even more down with crushing South African government. They are the murder capital of the world. Their number one industry is private security, has like 3.5 million people, and only the rich people can hire them. And if you don't like it, you have to have the money to hire only a black lawyer, because white lawyers are not allowed to appear before judges in their courts. Not racism, that's equality and fairness. There's a lot of things going on in South Africa that are so wrong. And I didn't catch at the start of the video, you heard that gentleman talking crap. One thing I don't mention, because I don't want to get strikes about, is they actually allow rape It's almost legal there, and you can do it to your family. So they really can't say anything. So if you have a good-looking sister and you know, well, you can take her and the cops won't come. Another problem with South Africa and their government. Whoa, whoa. A lot of action with those cats. You guys have a nice day.